How many times have you been in the middle of something really important and suddenly started hearing these questions in your head? What if it goes wrong? What if I'm not good enough? What if they think I'm ridiculous? At first, it's just a small voice in your head, but then you start rehearsing failures that haven't even happened. You start replaying conversations that never even took place. You go over every possible mistake until doing nothing feels safer than doing anything, and no one sees it, but inside it's exhausting. What starts as worry quietly becomes fear, and suddenly the thing you wanted to do feels risky, not because it's impossible, but because being seen, being judged, feels too heavy to carry. This is what happens when you're overthinking. You start playing out worst-case scenarios in your head, imagining every way things could fall apart. The fear feels real, even though nothing bad has actually happened. Your imagination takes over, and fear becomes a wall. I know, I get it. Trying something new or doing something you've never tried before can be really scary. Your brain just wants answers and a sense of safety. But the truth is, not knowing is part of life. And if you don't make that leap, you miss out on a chance to learn, grow, or experience something meaningful. So stop overthinking, because most of the time, the thing you're worried about, it either never happens, isn't nearly as bad as you pictured, or comes in a way you didn't expect at all. But by then you've already paid the emotional price. You've already lost sleep, gotten tangled up in anxiety, carried stress that never needed to be yours. And that's not the only problem. The issue is the way you interpret what's currently happening. Most of the time, what upsets you isn't the event, it's the story you tell yourself about it. Like when someone bumps into you on the street and they don't even say sorry. Your first thought might be, wow, rude, and just like that, you're annoyed. But it wasn't the bump that upset you, it was your interpretation, the meaning you gave it. Now imagine thinking something different instead. Like, maybe they didn't even notice, or maybe they're just having a rough day. Suddenly, the irritation starts to fade. The event didn't change, but your thoughts did, and that changes how you feel. So whether you're worrying about what might happen or reacting to what just did, the common thread is the same. Your thoughts, your inner dialogue, the way you frame things. A story comes to mind about a monk who traveled to the middle of a lake. He was so ready to meditate, but when his boat collided with another boat, he turned to face his assailant, ready to throw a fit of rage, when, as it turns out, the other boat was completely empty. And in life, that's how we ought to go about things, addressing things that bother us as empty boats. You have the ability to choose how you think about things. You don't have to believe the first thought that pops into your head. You can pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, is there another way to see this? That small pause can make a huge difference, because not every thought is true. Not every fear deserves your energy, and not every moment needs to become a crisis. Let your imagination be your ally, not your enemy. Use it to dream up hope, to find peace, to make plans, not panic. Fear will always try to visit, but you don't have to invite it to stay. Face the real problems when they come, not before. You have enough strength to deal with the present. You don't need to carry the weight of things that only might happen. Let go of the extra suffering and start living lighter. Because if you're busy thinking about all the things that could go wrong, you're not really living in the moment you're actually in. You're letting moments slip away. Moments that are real. Moments that matter. I mean, why are you worrying so much about tomorrow? Tomorrow, you'll still be you. You'll still have the same mind, the same strength, and the same ability to think things through. Just like you handle things today, you'll handle them then. So why worry now? You'll meet the future when it comes, and when it does, you'll deal with it one step at a time. Staying present doesn't mean ignoring what's ahead. It just means not letting it steal your peace before it even gets here. When you're focused on now, you can think clearly. You can enjoy what's in front of you, respond to what's real, and make choices without the weight of imagined problems pulling you down. You already know how to handle challenges. You've made it this far, and when the next one comes, you'll handle that too. But in the meantime, don't lose today by living in tomorrow. Keep your thoughts here, where your life actually is. And when the future does come, you'll be ready. Not because you worried, but because you stayed present. And that's where your real strength lives. Staying present helps you think clearly, but it also helps you stay steady. Because when you're not caught up in what-ifs, it's easier to stay calm and respond instead of react. That's where real strength comes from. There's a quiet kind of strength that comes from knowing you have control, not over the world, but over yourself. You can't stop everything that happens around you. People will say things, plans will change, problems will show up. But no matter what's happening on the outside, you always have a choice. How you respond on the inside. Your mind is your space. It's not about controlling life, but in how you think about life. When you become aware of your thoughts and emotions, you start to see that not everything has to shake you. You don't have to be pulled into every bad mood or every stressful moment. Instead of reacting on impulse, you can choose a calmer response, one that reflects who you truly want to be. This doesn't mean pretending things are fine when they're not. It means facing life with more clarity and less panic. The more you practice this, the more peaceful you become. And even with that steadiness, fear can still creep in. It doesn't always look like panic. Sometimes it shows up as perfectionism. And perfectionism adds another layer to the fear. You might want everything to be just right before you start. A perfect idea, a flawless plan, the ideal moment. But that desire for perfection often leads to more overthinking. You keep imagining all the things that could go wrong, so you delay getting started. You tell yourself you're just preparing, but really you're avoiding the discomfort of imperfection. Think of it like building a sandcastle. You want every tower and wall to look amazing, but instead of getting your hands in the sand, you just stand there thinking about how not to mess it up. In the end, the sandcastle never gets built. Overthinking becomes a loop, one where you're always asking, what if I fail? Instead of just letting yourself begin and learn as you go. Letting go of the need to be perfect frees you to take that first step. Even if it turns out messy, at least you're moving, creating, learning. The fear of making a mistake starts to lose its grip once you realize you can handle the outcome, even if it's not what you expected. It's exhausting to live in fear of judgment, especially when that judgment hasn't even happened. But when you bring shame out into the open, when you name it, talk about it, and shine a light on it, it begins to fade. If you're overwhelmed by self-doubt, opening up to someone you trust can bring relief and perspective. You start to remember you're not alone, and that feeling vulnerable doesn't make you weak. It just means you're human. There's a quiet kind of courage that comes from facing your inner fears. Maybe you've got a big idea or a dream that excites you, but fear keeps dragging you back. You imagine every way it could go wrong, and before you've even started, you already feel defeated. These fears are powerful, but they're imagined. You won't know what's actually going to happen until you try. And try? That's how you meet reality. Yeah, things might go wrong, but they might also go right, or better than expected. Even if the outcome isn't perfect, you've gained something real. That kind of bravery doesn't mean the fear disappears. It just means it's not driving the car anymore. And sometimes, the thing that holds you back isn't just fear, it's that nagging feeling of not having enough. You might feel like there's never enough time, money, love, or that you yourself are never enough. That mindset keeps you focused on what you're lacking, instead of what's already there. And when you're always chasing more, it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. No matter how much you've gained, that constant sense of scarcity can make every day feel like a struggle. You spend more time worrying about what's missing than enjoying what's present. But when you slow down and notice what you do have, and genuinely appreciate it, your whole outlook starts to shift. Gratitude becomes a way to calm your mind and reconnect with the moment. You don't need to have it all to feel content. You just need to see the value in what's already around you. You don't need to be fearless or flawless to take the next step. Just be willing to show up as you are. That's where real strength begins.